Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I will be providing a word-for-word recitation of Surah Al-Jinn verse 1 and also share with everyone some of the Tajweed rules that we can find in this verse. We will first start with the Isti'adha and Basmalah and proceed with the first verse of Surah Al-Jinn. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن فقالوا إنا سمعنا قرآنا عجبا. Okay, so in this first verse, it starts off with the letter Qaf. So for this, you must say Qul. Qul. Okay, do not say with the letter Kaf. Okay, which will sound like this. Kul. Kul. Because it will give a different meaning. Right? The word Qul in Arabic means say. But if you replace the Qaf with the letter Kaf, Kul, then it means eat. Right? So please, so do make sure that when you read this verse, right, make sure you read it with the letter Qaf. Qul. Then the next one, Uhiya. Uhiya. U. Here we have the mad asli, and here you must read it for 2 counts. So it's Uhiya. Uhiya. Okay, so do lengthen the U for 2 counts. Then the next word, Ilayya. Here we have the letter Ya with the shadda. Okay, so you must read it like this. Ilayya. Ilayya. Next, we have Annahus. Okay, so here we have the letter Nun shadda. Okay, Nun shadda, every time when you meet these 2 letters, Nun shadda or Mim shadda, okay, you have to do this thing called nasalization. Nasalization, which means that you need to lengthen the Nun sound or the Mim sound for a total of 2 counts. What I mean by that is that you have to lengthen the Nun sound much longer than the normal letters. So I'm going to give a demonstration of how to read this word without the nasalization first, and then I will give an example of how to read it properly with nasalization of 2 counts. So now I'm going to give the wrong example, right? So it will sound something like this. Annahus. Annahus. Okay, so now I'm going to give the proper way of reciting with the nasalization. Annahus. Annahus. Okay, so notice that for the Nun shadda, I lengthen the Nun sound much longer, right? So that is a total of 2 counts. Or in Arabic, we call it as harakat, right? Harakat. All right. Then the next part. In this word, we can see the letter Hamzatul Wasl. And Hamzatul Wasl in the Mus'haf is denoted by the letter Alif and a small letter Sod at the top. Okay, so this is called Hamzatul wasl. For hamzatul wasl, if it's in the middle of an ayat like this, okay, you can just choose to ignore the letter. So you don't need to read this letter. So what we have is the letter ha with the dhamma, which sounds hu, sukun directly to letter sin. So it becomes hus. Hus. Okay, so the word will sound like this. Hus. Hus. Okay. Then next one is tama'a nafarum. Okay, here we have the letter ra. We have the letter ra with the dhammatain. And this dhammatain meets with the letter mim. Okay, so when we have the dhammatain meeting with the letter mim, what we have is the ruling idgham bil gunnah. Which means to say that first thing we cannot read as nafarun. Nafarun. Okay, now we have to read with the nafarum, with the mim sound at the back. Nafarum. Okay. Then the second thing, we need to have gunnah. Gunnah in Arabic is nasalization. Okay. So we have to lengthen the mim sound for 2 counts. So it sounds something like this. Nafarum minal. Nafarum minal. So notice that I lengthen the mim sound much longer. Right. Okay, then after that, minal. Here we have the hamzatul wasl again. And since this hamzatul wasl is in the middle of the ayat, we can just ignore it. So what we have is minal. Noon with the fatha, na, sukun directly to the lam, so it becomes nal. So it's minal. Next, we have jinni. Jinni. So here we have nun shadda again. So don't forget to nasalize for 2 counts. Then faqalu. All right, here what we have is this long stroke, right? And this stroke, if you find it in the Quran by itself, it means you have to read this, you have to lengthen this sound either by 4 counts or 5 counts, right? So normally what we take is the 4 counts, right? So the lu, right, we have to lengthen it for much longer than the normal reading. So it's faqalu. Okay, so make sure that the loose is lengthened very long. And then after that, what we see is the letter alif and a circle at the top of this. Now, in the Quran, if you see this circle, right, what it means is that you can just ignore the letter. Okay, ignore the letter. So this alif, you can just not read it. So what we have is lam with the dhamma, lu, and the waw, right? So it's lu, and because you have the long stroke, you have to read it for 4 counts, so it becomes lu. Right. Okay. Then the next one here, we have inna. So we have the nun shadda again, so don't forget to nasalize. Sami'na Qur'anan ajaba. Okay, and then the end of this ayat, it ends with the fathatain. Okay, Fathatain. So every time when an ayat ends with a Fathatain, we have to convert it to a Fatha. So instead of reading as Ajaban, we have to read it as Ajaba with 2 counts, right? 2 counts. And this is what we call as Mad Iwal. Okay, Mad Iwal. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope everyone who has watched this video gain some benefit from it. If you find this video beneficial, please do share with your friends and families. And also make dua for me that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will keep me in this path. And may Allah make this as a source of amal jariyah for me. I'll end this video with Tasbih Kafarah and Suratul Asr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.